Hi, welcome to the channel Financially Intact. I'm Ron Frostic, and today we're going to be talking about the Colorado $400 sales tax refunds that you've probably already heard about. This is going to explain to you and tell you how to get yours. So, actually, before we get started, I want to mention that there's going to be, in order to get this, you have to file a tax return. And there's lots of people, especially lots of seniors, who don't actually have enough income to where they file tax returns. Well, we don't want to see them left out. We want to see them get their, $400. And so if you know anybody who needs this information and might not be filing tax returns because their income's low enough where they don't have to, please pass this information along to them. Please tell them to come watch this video so they can learn how to get their $400. So like I said, it's the Colorado sales tax refund, and they're trying to change it to where we're all going to get $400. So it is actually under Senate Bill 22-233. And what this bill is going to do is it's going to change how money can be paid back to Coloradoans because of Tabor. Tabor stands for the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. Currently, those refunds are paid out on a sliding scale when the tax returns are filed. The new proposal changes that to a flat amount instead of the sliding scale, and that it would be paid early, as in this coming September, for those who file 2021 taxes by May 31st of 2022. The Tabor refund mechanism, what the bill is actually trying to do, just a little bit closer. So Tabor says that whenever the Colorado government gets more money than was basically budgeted to spend, that they have to give that money back to us, the taxpayers. And up until now, there's always been three ways of doing this. And what they're trying to do is create a fourth way of doing it. So the three ways of doing this was, first, they give tax breaks to seniors and disabled people who are over the age of 65, have owned their home for more than 10 years, and therefore they don't have to pay taxes on the first $200,000 of value of their homestead properties. And then the second way is that they give everybody a tax break of about 0.5%, I think it is. Everybody pays a little bit less on their state income taxes, such as this last year we all got, I think it was 0.3% to 0.5% less that we paid in taxes this last year. And then the third way is that they also do these sales tax refunds when we file our tax return. So as everybody filed this last year for 2021, everybody got $37 or more, and we'll cover that here in just a second. What this bill is doing is what it says right here. The bill establishes a temporary fourth Tabor refund mechanism, and that's where it would pay out a flat amount of money instead of a sliding scale, and it would pay it all out come this September instead of waiting all the way till next spring when we do those tax returns. It's important here at the bottom, I want to mention this: the qualified individual is defined for purposes of this bill as a natural person who is at least 18 years of age on or before December 31st, 2021, is a Colorado resident for the entire 2021 income tax year, and files a state income tax return for the 2021 income tax year, or receives a property tax rent or heat credit rebate. So that's how they get these. Important to mention here that this bill has not actually still passed. It has passed the Senate, but it has not passed through the House yet. As you can see on this slide here, this is the Colorado Capital Watch bill, where it shows you the movement of a bill as it's working its way through. So it was voted on in the Senate on the 3rd, which is yesterday. And as you can see, these are all the yeses and the nos. As you can see here at the bottom, it passed the Senate 24-11. The only thing that bothers me about this chart actually is that you might notice, if you look here at the yes, who voted yes and who voted no's, every single one of these people, if they were Democrat, they voted yes for it. If they were Republican, they voted no for it. And that bothers me, that we have no individual thinking people anymore. Everybody votes according to party line. Whether or not you're for this or against this has nothing to do with it. All I'm saying is that everybody voted exactly by party line, and it makes me wonder why we have no individual thinkers anymore as far as our politicians are concerned. And I know I'm running down a rabbit hole that I should have stayed out of, and I digress. So we will move on to the subject matter. Now that it's passed the Senate, as of yesterday, it will now go on. It also got passed on to the House, and from the House, they put it into the Finance Committee. And we don't know how long it'll be there or when the House will actually vote on it. But being that everybody's basically voting according to party lines, and the House is also controlled by the Democrats, we could pretty well count on the fact that this is going to pass just as it's stated at the moment. So let's look at how it worked for 2021, because if you haven't already done a income tax return for 2021, you should be doing one so that you can get this free money. So in 2021, of course, we were still on the sliding scale version of Tabor, and that meant everybody got at least $37, and they could get up to $117 depending on what their income level was. So that's $37 per person. So for a married couple, with a household income of $44,000 or less, they would get 74, 44 to 88, got 98, and so on and so forth. So that's how Tabor has always worked up till now. Some years we got money, some years we didn't. 2021 we did, and like I said, if you haven't filed for 2021, you can still do that all the way up to October 15th, and you can still get this free money. Now in 2022, it's going to look quite different. Let me show you what the proposal looks like here. This chart came off of CPR, Colorado Public Radio. They put this out, and they're talking about it's pretty good information on here, obviously. So this is what the plan would look like for 2022. Now, I do want to mention real quickly here that the Colorado's actually projecting that they're going to have about $2 billion of extra money that has to be returned back to the taxpayers. This plan will cover about 1.46 billion. The other parts will cover the other ways that they do bring money back to us, as I stated earlier, about the senior property taxes and everybody getting a lower tax rate to start with. So under the old system, if they wait all the way till next tax season and everybody's filing the returns then, and it stays on the tiered method, then people making $47,000 or less are going to get $276, and as you make more, you get more. However, if this bill does pass, which it looks like it's going to, instead of going on the sliding scale, everybody will get $400 instead, regardless of what their income was. So, and as you can see, that's actually the average. And that's where this number came from, is there's very few people who get the 871, and there's lots of people who get 276. And the argument, of course, is, well, some people, pay more, so they should get more. And the other argument is, yeah, but the poor people need it worse, so we should be giving them more. So they took all this, they figured out what the average is per person, and it came out to $400 per person. So that's what they're proposing over here, is that everybody gets $400. So of course, I'm sure what you're asking now then is exactly how do we get our hands on this money? It was a little difficult actually getting this answer, because I called the Colorado Department of Revenue and said, can we just do $0 tax returns and get it? Or do we actually have to do a legitimate tax return, show the income, then show that it wasn't taxable, and then get it? And I couldn't get an answer out of them. And it took me several days actually of trying to, and finally I got through to somebody and they said, sorry, we don't have that answer. So I also wrote to the treasurer of Colorado, and I wrote to the governor of Colorado, and lo and behold, somebody has enough power that they talked to Colorado Department of Revenue, and they sent me this answer. So this is part of the email that they sent me back, the important part, because it tells us what we need to know. It says, one method of claiming the sales tax refunds by filing an income tax return. To qualify, the income tax return must be filed on time. They must accurately report federal taxable income and any applicable modifications. Federal taxable income doesn't say that they have to show all the income. So that sort of answered my question. Not quite, but close enough. So a qualified individual may claim the sales tax refund by filing a return, even if the individual does not have any taxable income or any tax due. I want to repeat that because it's very, very important. A qualified individual may claim the sales tax refund by filing a return, even if the individual does not have any taxable income or any tax due. For further information, refer to the instructions on line 32, which is what I just showed you with those boxes with the sliding scale. Then they talk about the forms and instructions where you can go and some videos and all of that. And we're going to cover that here in just a second. I don't think that needs to be read to you. So this is how you get those refunds, is you have to file a state income tax form. So in order to do that, of course, some people need help. So there are ways that people can get help in filing a tax return, and you need to file the tax return in order to get these sales tax refunds. And so there's a couple types of offices. One is called the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, VITA, and the other is Tax Counseling for the Elderly. And they have offices set up. There's 3 of them here in the Denver and northern Colorado area. Then there's another one down in Colorado Springs, another one in Lyman. There might be one in Grand Junction. I don't quite remember. I'd have to go look that up. But anyway, if you're in the Denver, northern Colorado area, these are the 3 offices where you can go and get somebody to help you by getting these tax returns done for free. I'm also going to give you a couple other resources, so stick with me here. So now these 3, they're all, as you can see, 2 are in Denver, 1 is in Aurora. The Aurora and one of the Denver ones is open till the middle of October that they can help you. And the other Denver one is open till May 31st. And of course, if you want to get that early $400 refund for next year, coming this September, they said that that does have to be filed by May 31st. So you want to do this in the near future. Now, the other ways that you can get these done for free, there's another way. You can go straight to the Colorado website, Colorado Department of Revenue website. So where you want to go is Colorado Revenue Online, and the actual email or website address for that is, let's see here, it's colorado.gov/revenue online. That's where you want to go to file an online Colorado tax form for free. Doesn't cost you anything. So once you get to this page here, scroll down and come here, file a return or a PTC form. That's something else we'll cover in a different video. Anyway, you hit the file an individual tax return. Then the very next page, once again, it's 2021 individual income tax. You click on that, and then you just proceed on. But it's important that you notice this here, because there's going to be certain things that you need. Now, no matter how you do it, if you go to some, you're going to need most of this information. But in order to do it online here, you have to have a valid email address. If you don't have a valid email address, don't even bother trying this. Go use one of the other methods instead. The things that you will need, no matter how you do it, whether you do it through the Colorado Revenue Online free website, or if you have a paid preparer do it, or you have one of the volunteer offices do it, however you get it done, you're going to need a certain couple of things. One, you need your Colorado driver's license or Colorado ID, because it said it only goes to full year residents, and you need to be able to prove that. And being that you don't normally file tax returns for a lot of you, this is how you're going to prove it, is with your driver's license or Colorado ID. So you need that. Also, if you're retired, you get a Social Security statement. It's called an SSA, a 1099-SSA, and that shows you how much Social Security pays you. You don't absolutely have to have that, I don't think, because it's not going to be taxable anyway. But if we're going to do a complete return and just to knock out the arguments that Colorado might give us later on, it'd be good to have this in. And then also you should have maybe a couple 1099s from like IRAs or bank accounts or pensions or something like that. And you want to have those in, even though it's not taxable. We just have to prove that it's not taxable and prove that, of course, we have income and that we live in Colorado, and therefore we deserve those sales tax refunds. Then, like I said, if you're filing online yourself, you will need that email address. And once again, that website is colorado.gov/revenue online. Will get you right there. So the last thing that I want to tell you today is that we can help. Hi, I'm Ron Verostek of Verostek Tax and Financial. We know there's lots of people out there who need help, and we'd love to help everybody, but there's only so many hours in the day, and there's only the 2 of us to do it. Myself, Ron Verostek, and my daughter, Brianna.
Hi, I'm Brianna Marshall. There's a a lot of seniors out there who need help, and we'd really love to be of service to them.
So you'll see here on the next screen, we'll show you how to contact us if you need help with this, and we hope that you do give us a call. If you are over the age of 65, and we can only do it for those over 65, because like I said, we don't have so much time to do this in. We are Verostic Tax and Financial. I'm Ron. You just met Brianna. We will charge a small fee for doing this. It'll be $30, but we only ask that you pay after you get your $400 check in the fall. If you never get your $400, we don't expect you to pay. We don't want you to pay. We only want to do this. We want to help people get this done. And so that's how we're going to do it. Of course, all questions would be answered for free. So if you have a question, you need just a little bit of help, something along those lines, give us a call at that number, 303-776-0867. Like I said at the beginning, it is so important. We want to make sure everybody gets their money. So if you know people who probably don't normally file an income tax return, please pass this information on to them. Please ask them to watch this video so that we can help them get their money. We especially don't want all our seniors who are on fixed incomes not share in this free money that Colorado's given out to all of its residents. $37 for 2021, $400 for 2022. We'll talk to you again real soon. Thank you. Please like, please subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye.